Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another pretty good coffee episode, another week, another moment to connect, another moment to hear from God, all the things. It's also another Monday. So, hello. I'm excited. If you're excited to hop right into the word and into trying some new drinks together just to start our week and to try to be a little bit healthy, but also still have the energy that we need, then I want you to grab your word and to grab your beverage of choice and let's get started. All right, so I'm so excited to see you. I'm Petra. I'm your faith bestie. That means that I have been called to help you live life well in every area. That means that we put our faith first. Our faith first. So all our friendship is focused on pleasing God and taking care of each other in a way that is edifying to us spiritually and naturally. And so we meet every week, every Monday. We join together and we have, oh, my baby. And we sometimes have guests. We sometimes have guests because this is real life. Also, this is the boys' first full week of summer. So they're home, which means that I have some guests. And so I'm going to be working from home today, just so I can spend a little bit of time with them. Because if you know me, then you know that they don't spend the summer here. So they're going to be going away very soon. So I want to spend some time with them. So I made breakfast. I made these. I'm going to show you. Let me see if I can do it. Hold on one second, E. So I made these like little potato chips, but they're soft. What, baby? But anyway, so we're spending some time. So if you hear noise, also I'm peeling. So it's not food in my mouth, but I am peeling right here. It's just a lot going on. But anyway, welcome to Monday. I'm Petra. I'm excited to be your faith bestie. I hope that you're ready to dive into the word. I hope you're ready to have a little bit of breakfast with me, but also to try something that we may not have tried together. I don't know if we have, but this is lemon ginger cayenne. It's from Suja Organic, and it also has apple cider vinegar, and it supports immune health. And you guys know that I'm cutting back on my coffee intake. I do still have coffee. Don't get me wrong. I do still have coffee, but I'm cutting back on it. But this is just a really good cleaner. And it resets and it revives. So it has lemon, ginger, cayenne, and cinnamon blended with a touch of apple cider vinegar. And it gives an energizing balance of zest and zing. And it has probiotics in it as well. It's organic, non-GMO, vegan, gluten-free, no added flavors, and it's cold pressed. Yes?
You drink it?
Mm-hmm. But let's not put that on there because, okay.
Mom,
Anyways. Okay, hold on. But this is what we're going to be drinking today, so I'm excited. I got it from Trader Joe's. I get it every once in a while. I had to go and pick up some flowers, so Sterling and I had gone to the grocery store to get some flowers and some fruit. I really like their fruit selection. It is, but it may not be good for you. You may not like it.
Why?
Because it may be very strong.
What's that?
You want me to taste it first, or are you going to taste it?
You taste it.
Okay. It's very good, but it's very strong.
I don't like it. I don't water.
Okay.
It's bad?
No, it's just water.
It's bad.
Okay.
Give me more water.
Okay, let's get down first, though. Let me finish what I'm doing, and I'll get that for you. Sterling, can you get Evie some water? Okay, so because obviously we don't have a lot of time, but I do want to go ahead and tell you this is really good. It's strong for kids. It's not strong for adults. It's actually very smooth, y'all, and I love it because it does give me energy, but it kind of cleanses my palate, which is nice. It feels like a literal reset to my taste buds, which is great. So yeah, it's really, really good. Yes. Oh, okay. Can we get them? Thank you. We're going to go fast. We're going to go really fast. We're going to do 2 Corinthians 10:5 CSB version. 2 Corinthians 10:5 CSB version. And it says, actually not CSB version, New King James Version. I always do CSB, so it's very easy for me to say that. But we're going to do New King James Version. And it says, casting down arguments and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God, bringing every thought into captivity. Hold on one second, baby. Bring every thought into captivity to the obedience of Christ. Hold on. Let me get her some. Because I also made hash, y'all, and grits.
What's this called?
Hash.
Hash? I don't like hash.
I know it. Okay. So 2 Corinthians 10:5, New King James Version, and it says, casting down arguments and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God, bringing every thought into captivity to the obedience of Christ. Okay. And I love this scripture. I've quoted this scripture. We've had conversations about this scripture, but I thought it was a really good scripture to have when we're talking about, we're literally at starting the 6th month of the year. We're at the halfway mark. We're at the halfway mark. And sometimes we also get to this place where we have plans or we have begun to listen to narratives and dialogues that are deviant from God's plan. Huh? Sure, baby. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. That deviate from God's will, right? And we know that it is against God. There are arguments against what He's wanting to do. There are things that we've begun to idolize. So there are high things that exalts itself against the knowledge of God. And it says that you got to bring those thoughts into captivity. You got to bring those actions to captivity. You've got to come into the obedience of Christ willingly. You have to be submitted to Him. So even as you're entering this second half of the year, you've got to remember who's actually calling the shots. You've got to remember that anything that calls you outside of the presence and the will of God is against God, and you have to cast it down. Anything that calls you outside of the will and the presence of God, you have to cast down because it is against God. It'll never be okay for you to say, I can do this because so-and-so is doing it. It'll never be okay for you to make a plan that is different from the one that God said just because it feels good or you feel that you're gifted enough to pull it off. It'll never be okay for you to have thoughts that are against God or against God's purpose and will and plan of your life. No. It's just not a thing. We have got to remember that, again, as we enter into the second half of the year, that we are focused on what the Lord wants us to be focused on, that we are connected to the people and things that He wants us to be connected to, and that we're not listening to or engaging in arguments that are against God, and that we are not casting or idolizing things that try to exalt themselves above God, which means that our worship and our reverence is then centered around them or that. And so you've got to bring every thought into captivity. You've got to bring your mind under subjection. You're going to have to do some work this last year because, again, a lot of us are going to be ramping up. There's a lot of things that we're wanting to do and wanting to see flourish before the end of the year. And sometimes because there's a lot that we want to do and we feel like we're running out of time, we get sloppy and we get messy and we begin to do things that we know that we shouldn't be doing, but because we're trying to cut corners or because we're trying to manipulate the hand of God, then we create issues. And I'm so sorry that I'm running fast, but I gotta get this because obviously you can hear in the background talk about she wants some hash. So I want you to read 2 Corinthians 10:5, and I want you to pray it. I want you to pray that the Lord help you to bring your mind under subjection. I want you to pray that the Lord will begin to reveal to you the engagements that you're having, the arguments, the conversations, the narratives that you are engaging in that are against God or pulling you out of His presence. I want you to ask Him to show you those idols that you begin to set up above Him so you can begin to tear them down, because He's calling you into a different place and there is no excuses anymore. We're not in an excuses season. We're not in an excuses season. In fact, the excuses are inexcusable because He says, I've given you the knowledge. I've told you the things. And it says, even in this verse, it says, against the knowledge of God. Every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God. You've got the knowledge. You've got the knowledge. That means that it is now your responsibility. You are now required to cast and bind those things. Okay, 1 second. So you got to be strategic, but you also have to be submitted. You got to be strategic in this second half, but you also have to be submitted to the will of God. So I want you to hold 2 Corinthians 10:5 in your heart. I want you to study and pray. And then I also want you to consider trying something this week. If you have a Trader Joe's near you, then try this lemon ginger cayenne from Suja Organic. It's really, really good. I'm excited to drink this down with my hash and my potatoes. But also, if you have something similar, I'd love to hear about that. Drop it in the comments. And then, of course, if you have not registered for the Be Well Pretty Summit Bridging the Gap, I want you to do that. It's at heyprettylife.com. It's all free. Hold on 1 second. All I want you to do is go to heyprettylife.com to sign up because it is free. Everything is free for our teens, for our seniors, which is our golden girls, and also our in-betweeners, and lunch is provided. And understand, this is not conference. These are workshops that are centered around the practical wellness required for you in this season. So your financial wellness, your mental health, and your physical health. So we're going to have doctors there. We're going to have we're going to have financial advisors. I'm going to say a, but we're going to actually have financial advisors. We're going to have mental health counselors. We're going to have physical trainers. We're going to have all the things. Okay. So our teens will have their own session, and then our adults will have theirs, but we have speakers that speak to each age group. So make sure that you're there. If you're wondering if you should be there, the answer is yes. If you're wondering if you should invite someone, the answer is yes. So go ahead, heyprettylife.com. All the tickets are free. Our Be Well Pretty Wellness courses are also free, and they are now open as of today. They're opened in our Facebook group, and you'll also receive a link for those if you have already signed up. And so they center around all of our 6 wellness pillars. That's physical, financial, mental, work life, relational, and spiritual health. So make sure that you've signed up for those. We have some experts that are teaching virtually, and they come in every week. We have some videos that drop for you, that some have homework for you, And so I want to make sure that you're getting that. Again, I apologize for talking so fast, but if you have a house full of kids, like 3 kids who want your attention, you would be too. You would be too. And last but not least, if you have not registered for the Hey Pretty conference happening on January 31st and February 1st, I want you to also go to heyprettylife.com. You can sign up for all 3 things at heyprettylife.com. That conference is being held in West Palm Beach. We are also going to have a men's session, not just a panel for the women, but the men will have their very own session on Friday night. So if you have a man in your life that is needing some godly counsel or some godly connection, make sure that he signs up. It's at heyprettylife.com. We're also going to have the teen track this year. We haven't fully released it, but that means if you are a part of the Pretty Crew, if you're one of my faith besties, you're hearing it first. The teens will also have their own complete track, and we're so excited about that. So make sure that you're signing up for the men in your life, the girls in your life, and also you and your girlfriends. Okay, so at heyprettylife.com, get registered for the Hey Pretty Conference happening in West Palm Beach on January 31st and February 1st. Okay, I think that covers it. If you missed anything, all the church announcements can be found at heyprettylife.com. I love y'all. I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful week. And